My name is Serena, and I am the RA for the 8th floor of Harrison Hall. This is my staff and the best staff of all of university residences. We get through everything together, ranging from just daily rounds to dealing with floods in the building. We have a lot of fun together. I will be giving you all a very basic tour of Harrison Hall. Harrison Hall is H-shaped. We have a north tower, which is the boys' side, and a south tower, which is the girls' side. Each tower has 8 floors, but the very first floor on the south side is a guy's floor. I don't know why it is, but I guess we had too many guys. The 2 towers are connected by the lobby, the famous Harrison Grill, and the North Activity Room, or the NAR. We have our local celebrities in the lobby, the Harrison Hall Fish Tank. Everyone goes to look at the fish while they are waiting for their packages, but I mainly go to see if the last shrimp in there is still surviving. He normally is, but like 90% of the time I can't find him because he blends in with the rocks. The Harrison Grill is a great place to stop right before late rounds on the weekends because it's always nice to eat before rounds, and who doesn't want, midnight fries or a shake? The NAR is honestly one of the best interior design jobs on campus. It's a great big room, we've got really colorful furniture, and awesome chairs. Like, who doesn't want to sit on a chair with faces? It's just slightly creepy looking, but it does serve its purpose. We recently also got carpet in the NAR, but it doesn't make the room any warmer as it still remains the icebox that it is. Well, that's all it for the tour, and now back to the content. As the RA of a first-year community, it was my residents' first time at Purdue, or any place away from home for an extended amount of time. For me to get to know them, as well as them getting to know each other, I put on an interactive Where's Home bulletin board so everyone could know about where others were from. This allowed them to get to feel how diverse the floor was and how different the people were from each other. During the very first floor meeting, I had them do introductions by dividing them into groups and playing Where the Big Wind Blows. This allowed them to find some connections and common interests between each other and start the bonding on the floor. I also created a Study Buddies link so that the residents could find other people within the same classes and get through them together. Through the Study Buddies link, I found that there were a lot of people taking the MA 16010 course, which was Applied Calculus 1, and I thought it was really cool because I had taken that class my first semester at Purdue as well, so I could relate to what they were going to. So while they were studying for their very first exam, I gave them some of my old practice exams to help prepare them for their very first college midterm. I also helped them answer some questions that they had about the class. There are also a lot of STEM majors on my floor taking classes that I would never have taken, and when they asked for help on things, I became the connecting point for them, letting them know about the different help centers at Purdue and the resources that they had, or asking other STEM RAs within Harrison for help. The educational priority of residential life resides in the track. The track is a lesson plan that the RAs implement on their floor to educate their residents about certain topics. For my community, our track is geared towards informing first years about things that they were not extremely knowledgeable about or did not know about before coming to Purdue. We go over these topics through passive and active programming. Bulletin boards are an example of passive programming and is a good way to get a lot of information displayed so that the residents can see it when they walk by. By making them interactive or themed, they take more interest in reading them. My favorite bulletin board so far was the sexual education board because I was able to make it Halloween themed and it brings a fun and spooky vibe to the floor for the month. Another component of the track is all-hall events. Harrison did an all-hall event called the H-Town House Party during the month of September to teach residents about alcohol awareness. We had some of the RAs be bartenders, and I was one of them, for the fake alcoholic drinks like Jungle Juice and Shirley Temples that we made for the residents, as well as Jell-O shots. There was also a Mario Kart tournament with beer goggles to teach about the dangers of driving while under the influence, and we also had PUPD come in and talk about the dangers of alcohol, drunk driving, and the Indiana Lifeline Law. The residents were able to learn about alcohol safety and awareness while having some fun and getting to know other residents at the same time. There's also potty talks, which I use to communicate with my residents on a weekly basis about all the events happening within Harrison and around Purdue. I've gotten some feedback that my residents do enjoy reading potty talks because of the memes that I put on them, but at least this way I know that they're reading the information that's included. The beginning learner mindset has shaped my personal growth a lot. Since I'm a first-year RA in a first-year community, I've had a lot to learn since the training in August. Keeping an open mind has helped me a lot in learning things about my staff and my residents as well. A recent happening of this was this weekend, the fall break weekend. One of my residents posted a picture in the floor GroupMe of a decorated hall in Shreve for Halloween. I was never super hyped about decorating for Halloween because I'm not a fan of scary things, or as my residents dubbed Halloween or October as spooky season. At home, my family and I were never decorated for Halloween either. We were always the ones who left the windows dark and went to a friend's house in a neighborhood to celebrate. But many people in the chat liked the message, so I decided to dedicate this week's For Tradition time to decorating the hall for Halloween. Because of all the excitement that they have surrounding this event, they're also getting me excited about something I would have felt indifferent about. I'm looking forward to their creativity when we start decorating this floor this weekend because everyone has different traditions when it comes to Halloween. One of my residents also suggested to play the You've Been Booed game on the floor, and it's fun to learn the different ways that people have celebrated Halloween. I believe that the willingness to fail is also part of the beginning learner mindset. Maybe not so much the willingness to fail, but the mindset that you know that failure happens and it's part of the learning process. Although no one likes to fail things on purpose, sometimes it is inevitable because of lack of knowledge. The thought process after learning that failing is okay has taught me that it is not the end of the world if I don't do something correct. There's always a learning opportunity afterward to correct yourself and excel the next time the same situation happens. An example of this was when I had to become stricter and enforce quiet hours on my floor. I was initially kind of nervous to write someone up before I found out that it was necessary, since it was happening so often and bothering other residents, and talking to them was not enough. Through trial and error, I learned that there are a lot of ways to solve a problem such as this. Through this current school year, I have learned to prioritize and value many different things. A lot of the things that I previously valued have been strengthened over the course of this year. My value for time management has been growing this year because of the vast amount of things that I have to cram into a day. It has helped me budget my time into doing a lot of things and also some time for relaxation every day. My value for family has also gone up because I am not able to go home very often throughout the school year as they are in Arizona. I often call my family to just catch up with them, sometimes every other day of the week because I just miss them and the comfort I had when I used to live at home. I also learned to value relationships a lot when I first came to Purdue because I greatly missed my family and my friends back home. But through this position, I have also made many friends and become more open with them as well. I have been able to share my passions of snacking with my floor on Sundays through my weekly tradition, Snack Box Sundays, where they come into my room and have snacks and chat about their weeks. Through this, I get to learn more about my residents and get to know them better. My value of responsibility has also gone up since the start of the school year. Since this position started, I have become responsible for a floor of 51 residents and all the things that happen in the penthouse suite of Harrison. I like having the feel of responsibility because it gives me a sense of leadership, independence, and empathy that I can lead and care for a group of people. Through this position, I aim to create a community where my residents are getting along with each other and promoting a culture of learning about themselves and from others to add to their future. I want to be the connecting point for my residents to a different array of events on campus so they can be exposed to many things and find their interests. The Club Expo at the beginning of the school year was a good way to get my residents out of the dorms and rooms and explore their interests on campus. Many of my residents wish to get to know their professors more, and I encourage them to attend the office hours where they can talk to their professors about what they do on campus besides basic lectures. I also encourage my residents to attend weekly traditions so they can know and learn more about each other. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and I'm glad to have taken this class with both of you guys, Catherine and Tyler, and I leave you with this dysfunctional photo of my very awesome staff.